because I realized we're at the nexus of the fastest pace of adoption of an enormous numbers of groundbreaking technology at the same time. So this is not early stage stuff that we hear about. This is stuff actually happening right now that's going to go from 100 million people to 4 billion people in the next decade and a half. And that, I was like, okay, what are these? And simply, obviously, cryptocurrencies, one, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, space, EV, Internet of Things, genetic sciences. None of these are new until you realize they're all Metcalfe's law models.
Over the past year, Real Vision CEO and co-founder Raoul Pal has had one important piece of advice for investors, which is how to get ahead of what he calls the fourth industrial revolution, or the exponential age. According to the macro guru, he realized the importance of the new age when he noticed a few things. One, central banks were printing more money than we ever thought possible. The reckless money printing from the Federal Reserve and its counterparts inflated asset prices into a fake bubble. Two, the pandemic had accelerated the adoption of at least 10 technologies, including e-commerce, delivery robots, autonomous driving, video conferencing, and telemedicine. Powell also realized that when you change the denominator into the Fed balance sheet, none of these technologies were actually in a bubble. It just seems so because the dollar has significantly lost value. His conclusion from all this observation was that the price valuations of technologies would continue to grow exponentially over the coming decade. This is why he has been telling investors to get ahead of this revolution before it hits fully and prices are off the charts. In a recent episode of the Where It Happens podcast, Raoul Pal delves deeper into his expectations for the exponential age and how digitized the world will be in 10 or 20 years. According to Raoul Pal, humanity is going to go through the biggest change of technology and technological change in history. He adds that though technologies like cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, genetics, robotics, and electric vehicle are not new, we have come to a turning point where they are about to blow up exponentially. Please watch, like, and share this video as Raoul Pal vividly explains how cryptocurrencies and other technologies are going to shape the future. If you like this video, ensure you check our other crypto-related videos from market experts like Michael Saylor, Cathie Wood, Lyn Alden, and others. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
I just stepped back and I was like, okay, I'd seen that if I divided various assets by the central bank balance sheet over the period we're having big monetary printing in 2021 or 2020, I realized that there's only two things that outperform the Fed balance sheet since 2008. Only two asset classes. One was technology stocks and the other was crypto. And that stopped me in my tracks. I'm like, why technology stocks? And then I realized that these were also network adoption models. So that got me thinking about, okay, here's a secular trend I'm missing, right? Because I was one of those people who think that all VCs are idiots. This is a stupid, overhyped, ridiculous thing. And obviously, clearly wrong. But macro frameworks don't work very well because they tend to be mean reverting often. Some people got it. Stan Druckenmiller got it a while ago, and a few people did. So I sat down and thought about it and did a lot of reading. And I had this moment where I started not being able to sleep because I realized we're at the nexus of the fastest pace of adoption of an enormous numbers of groundbreaking technology at the same time. None of these are new until you realize they're all Metcalfe's law models. And when you add Metcalfe's law on top of Metcalfe's law, you get Reed's law, which is even more truly exponential. So then I realized, okay, humanity is going to go through the biggest change of technology and technological change because of exponentiality we've ever gone through, and it's already breaking the fabric of society. So we're about to go through the largest change humanity's ever gone through. We're not dealing with the change already. You can see it all over Twitter. There's people so distrusting of change and fear of change and, moving away from good old my Mustang and moving to a Tesla. That just seems like it's a political opinion now. The whole thing is all about the fear of change. So I thought about this and so I know it's tearing society apart and it will continue to do so because humans don't deal with change at this speed at all. Most species don't. So I thought, what do you do about that? How do you change the mindset of this? The obvious thing is to embrace it because then it goes from being something you fear to something you'd be excited about. And if you understand network adoption models, it means that it should be incredibly lucrative to embrace it financially by investing in it. So I started building a broad basket of stuff that basically captures the directionality of these mega trends. Gaming, metaverse, they're all part of the same ludicrous change that None of us, if we come back to this conversation in 15 years' time, well, A, we won't be doing it over Zoom. I mean, I can't even get my head around the changes, much like none of us got the head around the changes when we first saw the internet. And once you first saw something in about 96, no way we thought we'd be doing this 20 years later.
Metcalfe's law is the underpinning of network effects. It states that the value of a network is proportional to the square of the number of connected users. The more users a network has, the greater its value. But it's more than just having users. It is also about the interconnectedness between the users of the network. And there is also the issue of utility, which brings us to Reed's law, which generally follows Metcalfe's law. Reed's law states that the utility of large networks can scale exponentially with the size of the network. The more users a network has, the more use cases it gets, strengthening it and driving up its value. Pal also discusses how digitized he thinks the world will be in the next 2 decades. The macro guru explains that everything is converging fast, from cryptocurrencies to the metaverse, space exploration, and energy generation and distribution. Though we might not see it yet, Pal says is evident in the work of Elon Musk, the world's richest man, famous for his Mars colonization ambitions and his unwavering support of popular meme coin, Dogecoin.
Everything is converging. It is converging on the singularity. Once you see all of this stuff, there is no other outcome. Now, whether that's man enhances machine or machine enhances man is going to be the big debate of 20, 30 years' time. But everything is going to be digitized. We're seeing it. It's the mega trend, right? If you step back, what is the mega trend? Everything. And I explain this to people, they don't get it, but electricity is about to be digitized. That is what this whole revolution is about. The whole ESG revolution is going from using these physical fossil fuels to using atoms or energy that exists and basically digitizing it. So once you do that, the cost of anything that gets digitized goes to zero. It's one of the most powerful forces the world has ever seen. So what does the world look like with near free electricity? Oh, okay, that means something different. That we're not constrained by cost of energy. So what possibilities does that allow for computing power? What possibilities does it allow for travel? What possibilities does it allow for technology? I have no idea, but it's coming. Whether that's 15 years' time or 30 years' time, it is definitely coming. So all I know that we will be living in a more and more digital world, and the metaverse is just the expression of that. Like this, I always explain on these calls, this is a metaverse experience, right? These are digital renditions of ourselves with digital renditions of our voices. All of this stuff, this is basically the start of what a metaverse is, and it'll all come together. But it also, on the flip side, means that nature probably trades at a premium. If you're living all of your life, you know how difficult it's been for us all, how incredibly productive and useful it's been to be able to operate on Zoom, and how it gives you a headache, you're exhausted by the end of the day, and all of that stuff because you're not interacting with nature, the outside people and stuff like that. So I think nature probably trades at a premium, which is an interesting concept that I've been kind of getting through my mind with this. So the answer is I don't know what the world's going to look like, but I know that all of these things, they're all going to one point. Like I used to say that crypto and macro were these 2 tracks that were going to meet at the next recession. Then it happened. These tracks obviously meet at the singularity, which is a horrifying, terrifying concept, and this is going to sound batshit crazy, but I think you are the right people to float it with. And I'm not a Elon Musk, fanboy, although I'm incredibly amazed at what he's done. He's going to Mars, if he can. And everything he's doing is for that. If you step back, I've not even written about this yet. If you step back and look at all of the things he's doing, they're all for the same thing. I actually think the Boring Company is not about digging tunnels under Los Angeles. I don't think it gives a shit. I think it's because the only way of inhabiting Mars is underground. SpaceX, Doge, right? People just don't understand his fascination with Doge. If you don't understand what he's doing, and again, this is not me going, oh, Elon Musk's the greatest man in the world. He tells you this, but nobody listens. What is Doge? Doge is likely to be his currency. What does that mean? It's still decentralized in some method, not hugely so, but yes, he's a large stakeholder in it. But I'm guessing he'll use it as streaming payments for his cars.
You might not agree with all of Raoul Pal's ideas, but it is hard to argue with some of the points he has made in this video. The world is changing fast. We are speeding head-on toward the exponential age where technology rules every sector. Investors who correctly position themselves now will be a crucial part of that future. What do you think about Raoul Pal's interview? Please drop your comments and observations in the comment section below. Also, be sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Everything helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching.